amid the horrifying onslaught by the Zionist forces on Gaza and the West Bank. King Abdullah II issued a stern warning during a press conference. He considered that the danger of expanding what he called the war launched by the Zionist entity against Gaza is real, and that the consequences of this are dire for everyone. During a press conference held in Berlin with German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, King Abdullah called for finding what he described as an urgent political horizon to end the cycle of violence in the region.
This new cycle of death and destruction is pushing us towards. The threat of this war expanding is real. The cost this will bring on all of us is too much to bear.
Furthermore, in response to the Zionist bombing in Gaza, Lebanon's Hezbollah announced the tragic loss of 2 members and revealed that the guided missiles had targeted a group of occupation soldiers stationed in different locations. Meanwhile, Lebanon's Foreign Minister Abdullah Habib joined his Turkish counterpart Hakan Fidan in a joint press conference in Beirut. They condemned the Zionist attack in South Lebanon as adding oil on fire to an already volatile situation.
The first condition is the ceasing of the increasing Israeli provocations and attacks on our southern borders and the international killings of journalists and civilians, the attacks on Lebanese army positions and UNIFIL positions, and the attack on villages filled with civilians. All of these actions only add fuel to the fire and is in direct breach of Order 1701 and increases tensions which could lead to circumstances that would be difficult to contain.
We have received requests from various countries, especially on the issue of their citizens being released. As a result of this, we have launched talks on this issue, especially with Hamas political wing. Our efforts are continuing, especially for the release of foreigners, civilians and children, and our efforts will continue to ensure lasting peace. Thank you.
In another corner of the world, the Russian presidency issued a grave warning against launching a grand attack on Gaza Strip. This coincided with Russian President Vladimir Putin's visit to China for a meeting with his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov mentioned that Putin's discussion with Xi would include the situation in the Middle East, a key topic during the Belt and Road Forum, in which Putin plays a prominent role.
We see that the conflict has been prolonged and has become chronic, and what is actually happening is an unfolding tragedy and humanitarian catastrophe. These are all the consequences of decades of neglect in resolving the Middle East. The threat still exists of an exacerbation of the crisis, which portends serious repercussions for the entire region, including greater deterioration of the humanitarian situation.
As the tragic events in Gaza and the West Bank continue to unfold, the warnings from leaders and the grim statistics from the ground paint a bleak picture of human suffering and regional instability. Urgent action and diplomacy are needed to bring an end to this harrowing chapter and to restore hope and peace in the Middle East.